Hey snack warriors, this one's for you. You're busy, driven, pushing limits, and you need fuel that keeps pace. That's where one-way jerky comes in. This isn't mystery meat, it's 100% real beef brisket, slow-smoked in the USA, tender, flavorful, and packed with protein to keep you going strong. And speaking of strong, here's the one-way jerky flavor lineup. Original, sweet teriyaki, sweet and spicy mango, spicy barbecue, and hot brisket. Those are flavor profiles that range from savory sweet to painfully bold. Right now, your first order ships free, and you can score 10% off with code TENDER. That's real brisket, zero compromise, delivered to your door. Craving that melt-in-your-mouth high-protein snack? It's just one click away. Toddcastjerky.com. That's toddcastjerky.com, and you can get 10% off with code TENDER. When it comes to jerky, there's only one way.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
If you have a favorite pro sports team, you'll know about stress, heartache, big wins, crushing losses. Canucks Army managing editor David Quadrelli would know better than most. Host of the Canucks Conversation podcast, editor-in-chief of Nation HQ. He's a great writer. Sports is a big part of his life. BC Lions, the Whitecaps, the Vancouver Canucks. He grew up playing baseball, still loves to play. Team loyalty is in his blood. A Vancouver sports writer at the forefront, one of the best. As we talked about the JT Miller trade and which team won that one, the Canucks, the Rangers, the Penguins. He touched on the Edmonton Oilers and McDavid's desire to win the cup. David talked about binging Squid Games 2, Mr. Beast, seeing the Killers in concert, his love of stand-up comedy, Pattinson's Batman, the worst jobs that he's had. And stop me if you've heard this before. David talked about his first sports memory.
Oh, man. Probably... Wow, that's a great question. Like, I really remember the 2011 Cup final. Like, I can't, I can't pretend like that wasn't a big one.
Well, with a guy your age, I was going to say kid, but a guy your age... Surely, like the Olympics and the riots and all that, that has to be a big part of like.
Well, yeah, I guess the Olympics happened sooner than the Cup final, so probably the Olympics. And you know what? No, as you're making me recall it a bit, it's actually the 2009 World Series. That was probably my first sports memory.
Yeah. And you're a fan, of course. Like beyond hockey, like we know that you're a hockey guy, but like you like sport in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a big baseball fan. Really, really like baseball.
Yeah. What do you remember about the 2009?
Well, I mean, my dad was a huge fan, and I mean, like I've always been a big baseball fan, and like I played baseball growing up, and I mean, like my dad was a Yankees fan growing up, and he didn't really watch much other baseball. He just watched the playoffs. So then when the Yankees were in the World Series, we were like, okay, we're watching this, and like my dad told me, he's like, hey, this closer, Mariano Rivera, like he's the greatest closer that you're ever going to see in your life. And I mean, that's still true today. I don't think that's ever going to change. Yeah. And I mean, I remember him specifically closing out games and again, coming out to Enter Sandman. Again, I was 9 years old, but I definitely remember it. Like that was that. Yeah. Now that you make me recall it, like that was probably my first sports memory.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by the HomeDwell Group. Buying a house? Selling your home? Contact Kyle at homedwell.ca today.
American history is full of infamous tales that continue to captivate audiences decades or even hundreds of years after they happened. On the Infamous America podcast, you'll hear the true stories of the Salem witch trials and the escape attempts from Alcatraz, of bank robbers like John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd, of killers like Lizzie Borden and Charles Starkweather, of mysteries like the Black Dahlia and D.B. Cooper, and of events that inspired movies like Goodfellas, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zodiac, 8 Men Out, and many more. I'm Chris Wimmer. Join me as we crisscross the country from the Miami drug wars and Dixie Mafia in the South, to mobsters in Chicago and New York, to arsonists, kidnappers, and killers in California, to unsolved mysteries in the heartland and in remote corners of Alaska. Every episode features narrative writing and cinematic music, and there are hundreds of episodes available to binge. Find Infamous America wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We love movies, and we come at them from different perspectives.
Yeah, like Amy thinks that, Joe Pesci was miscast in Goodfellas, and I don't.
He's too old. Let's not forget that Paul thinks that Dune 2 is overrated.
It is.
Anyway, despite this, we come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
We've done deep dives on popcorn flicks. We've talked about why Independence Day deserves a second look.
And we've talked about horror movies, some that you've never even heard of, like Ganja and Hess.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.
The Old West is an iconic period of American history and full of legendary figures whose names still resonate today, like Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and Butch and Sundance, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, and Geronimo, Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, and Bass Reeves, Buffalo Bill Cody, Wild Bill Hickok, the Texas Rangers, and many more. Hear all their stories on the Legends of the Old West podcast. We'll take you to Tombstone, Deadwood, and Dodge City, to the plains, mountains, and deserts for battles between the U.S. Army and Native American warriors, to dark corners for the disaster of the Donner Party, and shining summits for achievements like the Transcontinental Railroad. We'll go back to the earliest days of explorers and mountain men, and head up through notorious Pinkerton agents and gunmen like Tom Horn. Every episode features narrative writing and cinematic music, and there are hundreds of episodes available to binge. I'm Chris Wimmer. Find Legends of the Old West wherever you're listening now.